Welcome everybody. This is SF Text, the first inaugural meetup. I'm the organizer, Alexy Khrabrov, and we're on location at VigLink, the company which works with a lot of text and uses very interesting technology. We have two talks today from VigLink and from Grant and Gersol, and we are going to talk with Adam Pingel, who is our gracious host. He will first tell us about VigLink itself. So Adam, what is VigLink? What are you guys doing?
Well, we help publishers monetize their content, in a sentence, and that comes in a couple forms. We help them affiliate links that they might have already in their content to product pages, and then we also can identify product references in text and turn those into affiliated links.
And as we're technology people, and we like search and NLP and text mining, what are the underlying technologies you use? What are the challenges in doing this?
Well, just to speak to the scale of it first, we work with tens of thousands of merchants. We do many billions of page views every month. So just scaling the load is a challenge. We run in 3 different Amazon regions. Databases we use are Cassandra, MySQL, we use Elasticsearch. So there's that side of it. And then on the algorithm side, we have a whole data science team and a couple of NLP experts who tune our named entity recognition and our matching technology to make sure that we are linking to high quality products that are going to yield the highest possible expected revenue for the publishers.
And I know Adam from SF Scala meetup, where we've been colleagues in a long time, so I wonder what is the rationale behind the choice of Scala and its associated technologies for this stack?
We are historically a Java shop, and so I think there have been several attempts over the years to use Scala, and I think the gears really started to mesh a couple of years ago. We started using it in the feed systems just to kind of get our feet wet. And it spread from there. So now I think close to about a half of our ad hoc analytics queries are written in Scala. We do Spark. We're using Akka to do a lot of our feed processing now. We're slowly introducing Akka or Play-based web services into our infrastructure over time. So the fact that we're coming from a Java background to some extent makes that a lot easier because the migration path can be very gradual, and we can go at a pace that feels comfortable to us. And then we also have a bunch of folks who are a little more well versed in Ruby or Python, but I think they also find that the functional paradigm is pretty natural for them. It doesn't require too much ramp up time to get them productive.
Cool. Can you talk a little bit about the NLP technologies you're using? I know you related some of them. I wonder what your experience with them. Can you recommend some of them?
So we use Mallet, and I'll have to refer you to our NLP experts for more on that. Mallet, we've looked at Epic. We've done some benchmarking with that. I think Katrina is going to talk about that tonight. Just for the named entity recognition, we did get some higher F1 scores, but Katrina's going to go into some depth in that later tonight. Mallet's natural successor is Factory. We're aware of it. We've looked at it. We haven't yet benchmarked that. But the Epic and Factory are the two. If we were to migrate beyond Mallet, those are the 2 most likely libraries we'll start using.
Cool. And so what are the main challenges in working with textual data? What are the main challenges in kind of organizing this information, connecting it? Can you talk a bit about that?
Wow, that is a good question. Gabor is going to speak a lot about creating training sets. I think knowing when you're doing the right thing is challenging. So getting all of the infrastructure in place to set up A/B tests and make sure that's all backed up with solid statistics, it's very challenging. The traffic we see on any given day, it varies. It varies a lot. The products that people are searching for, the seasonality of the business. It can be difficult to know, when a change you're making is really having the desired effect. So I think that's one of the challenges I've observed. But again, I think Gabor is the one who's really leading that charge here. let's see, what else would I say? Just scaling search. We do use search. We've gone from using a single box running Lucene embedded in a Tomcat container to running a 30-node Elasticsearch cluster over the last 5 years. And
wow.
there have been a couple of points along the way. Before there was sharding on Solar, we had to kind of do our own. That was fairly brittle. So about a year ago, we moved to Elasticsearch. Yeah, I would say between the data science and the scaling issues, we definitely have our hands full dealing with this data. And also products themselves. There's a rich understanding. A product is more than just its description. Mm-hmm. There's a rich vocabulary of attributes that products might have, a rich category, a taxonomy that you might build to classify products. So that work is all ongoing, and still very much we're learning new things about that all the time.
Great.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because you have essentially a team where you have engineers, you have data scientists, you have NLP experts. How do you guys balance all of this? How do you kind of make sure you have production code in the end which runs at scale? Can you talk a little bit about interplay of these teams and how do you get to the actual working business?
So we have a little over 20 engineers here, most of which are located in San Francisco, although we do have some remote offices. And we've actually just recently, because we've been growing so fast, split the engineering team into two halves. And theoretically, each team is capable of doing any kind of work. In practice, each team has their affinities, has their specializations. So we found it's beneficial to keep everyone well appraised of what's going on across all of engineering. So we do have data science specific events. We have something called the Data Science Jam every Friday at 11 o'clock, but that's open not only to engineering but to anyone else in the company who wants to check it out. And it's also a good way for the data scientists to kind of produce a deliverable and do a talk for a half hour. So we find that's really
What
really
are you guys
useful.
doing in these data science jams?
We'll talk about, we basically do 2 or 3 presentations over the course of an hour, and the topics can be anything from restructuring the way we're doing click IDs and the math behind that, to some of Gabor's research on shallow parsing. It really runs a pretty wide range of topics. Statistics behind the kinds of A/B testing we're doing. A lot of stuff.
Awesome. Do you see people learning and like engineers not yet familiar with these concepts wanting to actually pick it up and do something about it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we just had a hack day, which was a good chance for some of the engineers who don't touch that stuff day to day to interact not only with the data scientists but folks in marketing or operations. We had a pan company hack day, so that was a really great opportunity to give folks a chance to work with stuff that they don't normally get to work with day to day.
Excellent, excellent. So Grant just joined us, and you will have to explain to him why you picked Elasticsearch over.
I know. I'm going to have to give him a heads up. Yeah.
So this is great. So, but since this is the first SF Text meetup, and we are setting the direction, and VigLink has text as its core, I wonder what would you, as the host and engineer running a team here, what would you like to kind of get from these meetups, and going into the future, how do you see the most beneficial composition of these meetups?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the meetups here in San Francisco tend to be technology oriented. This is something that Katrine has commented to me about from joining us almost a year ago. She noticed this. So I think having a community built around a problem domain more than a technology would be really useful to everyone here at VigLink. And of course, just having people over in person, meeting them face to face. A lot of us see these people in Git commits or in papers that they might write. So I think just to establish more of a personal connection will be really helpful to everybody here. I think there's so much new, there's so many problems, so many unknowns in this business and with this technology that I think the upsides are clearly outweigh any I don't. Yeah, maybe I'll elide the part. But yeah, I think the upside of sharing information is far outweighs any concern about IP or anything like that. I think we can balance that and teach each other how to use the tools, learn the algorithms,
True.
Develop open source projects together potentially.
Yeah, I think open source is the key word here, because I think this group is coming together around shared open source, and we have academics producing it, we have practitioners taking it, and hopefully by providing feedback, we'll improve our common open source and share as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Adam. It's great to be here, and we're looking forward to your presentation.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, we're happy to host.
Thanks. All right.